France versus Spain. Winner takes all. Mbappe versus Yamal. This is a situation that we are going to absolutely enjoy. We are going to enjoy it. I don't know about you, but I'm going to enjoy this one. This is the FIFA World Cup semi-finals are here. It doesn't get much bigger than this. France have looked like the team of the tournament. They have looked like the favorites from the very beginning, cruising through the competition with Kylian Mbappé, Ousmane Dembélé, Olise and Désiré Doué leading the line of the most dangerous attacks in world football. That's what they have been doing. They have reached the semi-finals without even trailing in a match. I need you guys to get that through your brain. They have reached the semi-finals of the World Cup without trailing in a match and haven't conceded. Oh my God. They have only conceded 2 goals this World Cup. This entire tournament, they have only conceded 2 goals. But you know the crazy thing about it? Spain, however, arrive this particular moment with full confidence after eliminating Portugal and Germany. With Rodri controlling the midfield, Pedri pulling strings, and Yamal capable of producing moments of magic. Luis de la Fuente aside, his side has become absolutely efficient in every single thing that they do. They have become efficient in every single thing that they do. And in this video, what we are going to be doing is that we are going to be covering France's route to the semi-finals. We are then going to look at Spain's impressive tournament run from Spain all the way to this point. And then we will look at a tactical battle based on possession and transition. And then we will then go forward and look at key player matchups. After that, we will then look at the X factors that could decide the game. And lastly, but definitely not the least, we will talk about my score predictions. And of course, you guys are absolutely welcome to drop your score predictions down in the comments because I want to see all of them. I want to see absolutely all of them. You get me? Because in this situation, we have to start with France. We definitely have to start with France. You get me? This French team, I told you guys that based on the way they played, especially in the group stages, the game all started with Senegal. In that first half, everybody understood that Senegal threatened France in a way that France did not like it. France did not like that at all. They did not. And then when they came out in that second half, that's when we saw France absolutely step up. We saw them step up and absolutely mash up Senegal. They mashed Senegal up so bad. 3-1, bish, bash, posh, moved to the side. The next game was Iraq. And that game was just, it felt like a warm-up game. It felt like a workout that they did in training with the under-21s. 3-0, boom, move to the side. The next game was against Norway. Now, Norway was it wasn't the most difficult game. It was a game that they played with Norway's second team. They played with Norway's second team, and maybe you could say that in that situation, Norway had already qualified because they had already won 2 games, and in that particular game, they really did not need to because Senegal had lost 2 and won 1, and Iraq had literally lost all of them. And so in that particular game, they really did not have to play their first team. And so they played the B team. And France absolutely mashed them up too. 4-1. It was game over for them in that situation. We saw the hat-trick from Dembélé in that game. In Iraq's game, we saw Kylian Mbappé pop up with 2 goals. You get me? We saw 2 goals from Kylian Mbappé. We saw 1 goal from Dembélé and 2 assists from Olise. And so we understood in the Iraq game that, my goodness, these boys are absolutely up for devastating every single person. Now, in that Senegal game, that was the game that we saw a change in the formation. We saw Dembélé start in the middle, playing that number 10 role or behind the striker or a supporting striker kind of situation. We saw Michael Olise play in the right hand side that he plays for Bayern. We saw Désiré Doué play in the left hand side. And in that first half, we saw a change. We saw a change in that first half because they moved Dembélé. Coming in the second half, they moved Dembélé to the right hand side and put Olise in the middle. And all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. We saw a difference in this French team. A difference in this French team. And it all kept the same way because I think Deschamps literally realized that he had found something absolutely brilliant in Michael Olise having free roles, free reign in this situation. Because Michael Olise right now stands as the highest assister in the World Cup with 5 assists. And the truth about it is that he could have gotten more if the French team actually converted the opportunities that he gave them. Because the big chances that this man has created absolutely mint. Better than Bruno Fernandes, the chance creator himself in this World Cup. Michael Olise has shown the world his ability to be in that number 10 role. I would be shocked to see the way Vincent Kompany uses Michael Olise in Bayern now. Because you can't unsee what we just saw in this World Cup. Now let's go into this Norway versus France. Because I literally told you in that particular team, it was absolutely a B team. None of them were a starting team. You literally had Strand Larsen starting ahead of Haaland. We know that's the B team. And they mashed up that too. Doué scored 1. Kylian Mbappé scored 2. And I believe, what's his name? Dembélé scored 3 in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, did Doué score? I'm not sure. No, Doué scored 1. Mbappe did not score in this game, and Dembélé scored 3. Mbappe assisted 2 goals. 2 goals, by the way, in that game. But what we saw is we just realized that this French team are absolutely terrifying to play against. They are terrifying to play against. And then what we saw in the knockout stages of 32, the knockout 32, they faced Sweden. And it just felt like they were walking through the game. They did not run. They did not bust a sweat. It felt like that jersey could still be worn out to the clubs after they finished playing. Because they walked into that game, scored 3 goals, and left. They left. It was done. And then the hardest game for them to play was against Paraguay. That was in the round of 16. And that round of 16 was a difficult one, not because Paraguay gave them anything to play against or to worry about. Paraguay just went there to fight UFC and not play football. And the referee allowed them to do it. But guess what? Kylian Mbappé stepped up in the penalty and absolutely shot that bloody senator up. He shot the entire people up. All the yappa. Shot it. Shot it, Shanice. He shot them up. 1-0 in that situation. Then took them to the quarterfinals against Morocco. Now in this particular game, I thought that this game would be the most difficult game for France. I thought it was going to be the most difficult game for France. But no, it wasn't. Morocco, yes, notwithstanding the fact that they lost Saibari, notwithstanding the fact that they came into this game basically hobbled, but they did not show any fight that I expected them to do. However, I have to give them credit. They absolutely came through in this World Cup. They showed the world that they are not flukes. What they did in 22 was not a fluke situation. And they did it again in this World Cup. To the quarterfinals, and then brings us now to the semifinals. And so that is how France absolutely walked their way to facing Spain. But now Spain is a total different ball game because they were in the Group H, a group that had Cape Verde, Uruguay, I almost said Ugarte because yes, he plays for Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. And in this particular World Cup group, only Spain came out with a win in this World Cup group. Spain had 2 wins and 1 draw. Cape Verde, that they were absolutely the darlings of this World Cup, had 3 draws. Uruguay had 2 draws and 1 loss. Saudi Arabia had 2 draws and 1 loss. And so what we saw in this situation is that Spain and Cape Verde qualified. But this particular Spain game, it started with Cape Verde. And in that game, it ended 0-0. This was Cape Verde's first World Cup game. And they got a point from Spain, the European champions. That game was absolutely insane. And don't get it twisted, that game also included the likes of Yamal and the likes of Nico Williams. I understand Nico Williams was injured and could not even finish the game. Yamal came on, finished the game, but couldn't do anything in that situation. And that was where they got the first point, I believe. And then they went and faced Saudi Arabia. And in this Saudi Arabia game, they absolutely just walked through them. They absolutely played through Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia could not even put their foot in front of them. Saudi Arabia literally had, let me even count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people in the back. And they still could not do anything with Spain because Spain absolutely slapped them 4-0. Slapped them 4-0. We got Hassan with the on goal, the first goal. Orazabal with 2 goals in the first half. That made it 3-0. And then, of course, no, I think Yamal was the one that scored first. Yamal, and then Orazabal, and then Hassan was the one that scored the on goal last. And all of a sudden, it's 4-0. And then they faced Uruguay. And this was the final game. Uruguay needed this win. They absolutely needed this win. But they did not get it because Spain absolutely walked them 1-0. Game over. They fired one of my favorite managers of all time that coached Uruguay. What's his name again? I forgot him. Marcelo Bielsa. They fired him. He was gone. And then Spain faced, in the round of 32, another one of my favorite managers in Ralf Rangnick. And Ralf Rangnick tried his best in that game, but Spain was just better. They were just better. 3-0, boom, bish, bash, bosh, moved to the side. And they faced Portugal. And this was an end of an era kind of game. Because this was the game that you would think that Portugal will rise up and show the world that they are doing it for one person. They are fighting for one of the greatest of all times. They were fighting for Cristiano Ronaldo, but absolutely they came out flat. And Mikel Merino came out and did his big one in the last minute. Or in the 80-something minute. And against Belgium, it was 1-1. And in the 80-something minutes, Sonny Lemons drops the ball. And Mikel Merino is absolutely there again to pounce. And that gets Spain to facing France in the semi-finals. So as we have gotten to this particular point in time, now it's time for us to then go to the next breakdown of what we are talking about, which is going to be the tactical versus the transition. Possession versus transition, sorry. Spain is going to be all about trying to kill France with 1,000 paper cuts. We are going to try and pass it next to you. We are going to try and do the tiki and the taka. However, the moment the ball gets to the flanks, Yamal is going to take over. Buena is going to try and go to the flanks. Basically, what made this Spain team better than the team that we saw with Luis Enrique is De La Fuente came in and says, okay, I'm not going to take away the possession away from you. However, the moment we get to the flanks, we allow our flair players absolutely express themselves. And that's where Yamal comes to life. That's where Nico Williams comes to life. That's the reason that they won the Euros. And they are the European champions. And so in this particular situation, that is what we are going to be seeing. It is going to be Spain absolutely playing through the banks of 4 or playing through the banks of 3 that France is going to try and do a press with. And then the moment they get the ball to Yamal and it's a 1v1 against Luka Dean or Buena against Kunde, you literally start seeing the brilliance of those wingers. I don't believe Nico Williams is going to start because Nico Williams is coming back from an injury. But that is the way Spain is going to play this game. They are going to pass the ball and get the ball directly to Yamal, whether it's a cross or a diagonal from Pedri to Yamal or a diagonal from Rodri to Buena is going to happen. And when the ball gets there, it is now left for either Kunde and Dean to win their 1v1s, or Doué and Dembélé supports and absolutely helps, or maybe Kone, because Dembélé might be taxed to stay up, to just give them a threat up forward. But then when it comes to France, it's all about the transitions. Guys, I gotta drink some water. For France, it's all about the transitions. It's all about the transitions because the moment they get the ball, every single person understands their role. Get the ball to our players to start running at you. And the way we saw Dembele's goal against, who did they play last? Dembele's goal against, remember, Morocco. Dembele's second goal against, France's second goal against Morocco. That is what you see in French team. Literally, the person holding the ball is running at the defense. But the rest of the attackers are not staying still. They are also running at the defense because they understand that one pass, that killer pass can come at any time. That killer pass can absolutely come at any time. And the moment it comes, you have to be ready. Kylian is running at you. Doué is running at you. Olise is running at you. Dembélé is running at you. So that is the transition that we see. And the funny thing about this situation, even though I understand that this Spain team is so good, I think they only conceded against Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. In this entire World Cup, they only conceded against Belgium, 1 goal against Belgium. But what I've noticed is that they have difficulties in transitional defense. That means when they are backpedaling, when they are going back to their goal, when they are running towards their goal and having to defend, the line is never straight. Laporte is either behind Kubarsi, or Kubarsi is too ahead or is behind. Porro is either sleeping in the back post, or Cucurella is focused on his man and not knowing where. It's never as clean as it meant to be. But that is where France is absolutely going to punish them. That right there is going to be the difficult part. And that leads us to the key players and the key matchups of this game. The key matchups of this game is going to be Kone and Rabiot versus Rodri and Pedri. It is absolutely going to be whoever wins that war or wins that battle is going to win this game. If the French side wins the battle, France is going to win it. If the Spain side wins it, Spain is going to win it, because I believe that this midfield is absolutely going to be crucial in this war, in this semi-finals. Because it's all about how we going to get the ball for Spain to Yamal and to Buena, or for France, it's all about how we're going to get the ball to our attackers that are going to transition as quick as possible. That is what is going to be. And if we see them do their thing, we would absolutely see one of these teams win it. And of course, we are going to be looking at Dembélé versus Cucurella. We are going to be looking at Mbappe versus Laporte. And that is going to be key matchups too in that situation. Because I think Doué is going to be stifled by Pedro Porro. I think Pedro Porro just has that ability of just being a nuisance. And of course, because he's also very attacking, he's going to give Doué a lot more work defensively than offensively. So in that situation, it's definitely going to be Dembélé, Cucurella, and Mbappe and Laporte. That is going to be another key matchup on this particular situation. But that then leads us to key factors that could decide this game. And key factor for me in this particular game is going to be the recovery pace of Pau Cubarsí and Laporte versus the pace of Kylian Mbappé and Dembélé. Those are going to be absolutely crucial in my mind, because I believe what we are going to be seeing is Olise having a defensive duty to do tomorrow. Doué having the defensive duties to do tomorrow. However, it is going to be a situation where Mbappe and Dembele are going to be cheating, just encroaching a little bit more into this Spain's psyche, that any break, we would absolutely punish you. And that, I believe, is going to be the reason why Spain will lose this game. And yes, that leads us to my score predictions. Before I give you guys my score predictions, make sure you guys drop down below what your score predictions are. I want to hear from you guys before the game starts. But my score prediction is going to be 2-0 for Spain. Sorry, for France. It's going to be 2-0 for France. I think France are going to get into the situation and knock out Spain, the European champions, and just go home with this, taking it to the finals. I believe France are just too good of a team. They just have too much power going forward, that Spain will not be able to keep them out of their 18-yard box or the back of the net. I think France is going to win this. My prediction of who is going to score, we are not going to take it away from Kylian. Kylian is going to score a goal, but I believe we are going to see the first goal for Michael Olise in this particular game. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Make sure you guys leave your predictions in the comments. Do not forget to do that. And I will absolutely shout out anybody that gets the predictions right in the next video, in the post-match reaction of this game. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button. And for the people that haven't followed us, what are you waiting for, my guys? Follow us. This is Pillah Sports. We bring you guys as current or as absolutely focused when it comes to this kind of games and when it comes to this kind of analysis, in-depth analysis for you guys. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.